I mean, that is a really, really interesting fight. Of course, Adesanya looks incredible lately. He's fucking awesome. What was his last fight? Oh, Yoel Romero. Okay, it was kind of one he'll forget, but everyone has the odd sleeper here and there.
I didn't know that Israel Adesanya was 6'4" and that Paulo Costa was 6 foot.
No, Adesanya is really tall.
Really tall.
When I first met him, I was like, oh shit, you're a big boy. But against Costa, I mean, that's a great fight because, Costa's got the power, Israel's got the technique. He's definitely the more capable, flashier striker. He's got more technique, but the power of Costa and the chin of Costa, and he's going to go forward. He's not going to do what Romero did. He's a fucking monster. And the takedown defense he showed against Romero as well, he was able to stop all those takedowns. Adesanya's not going to go for a takedown. This is all going to be on the feet. If anyone's going to go for a takedown, it will be Costa. But he just fucking goes forward like a madman, swinging wild, heavy shots. So you got the technician against the brawler. You got the faster guy against the stronger guy. It's a fucking great matchup. Somebody's has to go.
I think it's a 50-50. I do really rate Costa. I think he's durable. I think he's got a chin. And I think he can bang. I just think Izzy might have the edge. And it's not going to be no grappling or wrestling match, that's for sure. I just think whoever's come prepared, whoever wants it more than whoever... I'm at 50-50 right now. I was 60-40 Izzy a few weeks back, but 50-50 right now, I don't know. But Costa's looking really big. I don't know if he's going to make the weight.
That's going to be a great one. I think Israel is a great fighter. He's a wizard in there. But Costa brings a physique, a pressure, some power that nobody else has in the division, and I think that can give Israel some problem. So I believe it's going to be a close fight, but I give my edge to Costa in that one.
Paulo Costa needs to be crashing forward and landing his big punches, but if he's doing it intelligently, he's far more dangerous than if he's doing it recklessly. And a fight week would allow Adesanya to trash talk him, get inside his head, and make him that kind of reckless version of himself. I think Adesanya can still do it. He just needs to use his slick movement and head movement defense in the first round to make Costa miss his shots. The more punches he misses, the more tired he gets, and the easier he's going to be to pick off at range for Adesanya. And I think the version of Adesanya that faced Gastelum compared to the version that faced Whittaker were very different. We'd already seen developments in his game which are going to be useful against Paulo Costa.
I think this is going to be a much different fight than the Adesanya-Romero fight. I think Costa is going to do what we all thought Romero was going to do, but didn't. Got into a bit of a snooze fest with that fight. I think Paulo Costa is going to be a whole different animal. I see this being a very, very close fight. I think Adesanya has to be on his game. Costa is going to be coming with the heat. He's going to be coming with power from the get-go. And I think with Costa, because he throws with power so much, I am very skeptical. And if he can carry that over 5 rounds, if it goes 5 rounds, he throws with 110% in every single punch that he throws. That, for 3 rounds, like as you've seen in the Romero, when he fought Romero, he started to slow a little bit in the 3rd round, and Romero was able to kind of come back and really do some damage himself. And you cannot slow considerably like that against somebody with the striking acumen that Israel Adesanya brings. He's going to pick you apart. He's going to constantly move. He's going to be constantly setting up different angles, switching stances, throwing up different question marks, throwing up different things for you to kind of worry about. So I really think if Costa wants to be successful in this fight, he has to play a little bit more of a patient game and not gas himself out. I think stylistically this is going to be fireworks. I don't think that it's going to be a snooze fest like the Adesanya-Romero fight. I think this is going to be very, very exciting, and I don't see it going the distance.
It's very hard to say. I think Israel's very good. He's very good at picking people apart, especially when he has the advantages in reach and length. the thing is though, Costa's huge. Like, he's a big guy, and he's got chin, and he's very, very strong and powerful. And but he does fade off. You know, like it's hard to say. I can see both guys winning at different points. Like, Costa can certainly, if he gets in and lands one of his big hands on him, he's gonna do some damage. But I can also see Israel picking him apart for 5 rounds.
I think this is one of the most exciting fights the UFC can make. I think that Israel Adesanya is a massive star. As you see, Israel Adesanya is just one of those guys that now I watch him and I feel like I can feel almost like the start radiate off of him. But Paulo Costa is as dangerous a fighter as anyone can hope for. And, you know, when I look at the matchup, I know that Izzy likes to counter, right? That's why the Romero fight was so bad. Both of them were waiting for chances to counter. Paulo Costa will give him those opportunities because Paulo Costa is not going to stand back with him. He's going to go after him. He's going to fight him with so much pressure, so much forward pressure that Izzy will have his chances to find those counter opportunities. The problem with that is no one's been able to stop Paulo Costa from fighting in the exact way that he wants to. Very interesting fight. And it's hard to know who's going to get the victory, honestly, because for as good as Izzy is, I believe Paulo Costa is just as skilled, just as talented, and as powerful as any guys I've seen. I mean, this guy looks like a heavyweight fighting at 185 pounds. I don't know how he makes weight. I was talking to his one of his coaches, Eric Albarracin, right? And they were talking about a guy going in to be one of his training partners, a kickboxer I used to use. And I was like, yeah, I was like, he's tough. I was like, you know, he works hard. He'll always fight you. He goes, good, because Paulo needs so many guys, because a week and a half in, he breaks them and he has to replace the training partners because he does not go to protect his partners. He goes through you and then give me the next guy. Reminds me of Kane back in the day. So interesting fight. Izzy will have his spots to counter because Costa's going to bring a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he's known as the eraser, so I'm not surprised to hear him do that, Paulo Costa. I love the fight because of the history, because it's just the second time two undefeated males, because they truly hate each other. These guys are not going to hug.
They're not going to hug.
Right?
No.
There'll be no hugging whatsoever.
No hugging.
There is no other fight for the 185-pound title that we want to see, right? This is the fight. Like, there's no debate. They want the fight. We want the fight. I love that about it. And to your point, I also love the fact that Izzy's a little annoyed that everyone jumped off this bandwagon after the Romero fight. I mean, we forget last year, arguably the fighter of the year, incredible performance against Robert Whittaker, right? I mean,
Gastelum fight was
fight
crazy.
Of the year against Kelvin Gastelum. The Anderson fight was fun. And then all of a sudden the guy has one, you know, substandard fight, which really wasn't his fault, in my opinion. Everyone's like, oh, he's a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum. This fight will not be boring because of what you just said. Costa doesn't know how to wait. Like, he just goes full force. And that might be ultimately his undoing in this fight, because I can see a situation where, like, almost Izzy's going backwards and knocks him out like a Stipe versus Verdun situation. But I love this fight.